We're back, people, and today we're going to film on Malik Reed, newest Miami Dolphins edge defender. Like this signing as a depth rotational guy. He comes in under Vic Fangio in 2020 and 2021 for the Denver Broncos, and those were his best, most productive years. 2022 under the Steelers wasn't his best year. He struggled with some injuries as well, but with Fangio, he looked quite good, actually. His first step explosiveness is definitely his best trait. He understands how to rush the passer. He has a plan when he rushes. And overall, I would say with Fangio, he was a slightly above average player, run, defense, and pass versus the pass as well. But with the Steelers in 2022, he looked below average. But you get a guy when he was with Fangio, if you get that guy as a rotational guy playing like 30 snaps, coming in with fresh legs, you definitely got a good, nice player there. And edge depth was super important because they had their starters for sure, but they needed that depth. And Malik Reed comes in and I think replaces he replaces Melvin Ingram, and he can definitely, I think, have that production. Still young and could still even get better. Break down this play a little more slower. Malik Reed coming off the ball here. Good timing of the snap. Good burst. That first step, really nice. We'll watch how he does this. This is probably his favorite move, where he initiates the long arm and then turns it into a rip move to get underneath, get to that outside shoulder, gain that edge, outside track. Nice play here. He loves to combine these moves together. He's reading the offensive tackle here and then dips underneath. He does a really good job of maintaining his speed and with low leverage. He gets really low pad level. He's like 6'2", 235, so not the biggest guy, but he plays under his pads well. And then showing off the bend, he plays with a high motor as well to finish, knock this ball out. He's got a good feel awareness to get the ball out at the point of attack right here. But I just love how he combines these moves. And then the next play that I'm going to show you, it only happened a few plays after this, so he really set up this offensive tackle really well. Now, after that first play, this is a few plays later, we get to see Reed really use this long arm, but then use it to an inside counter. Instead of, baiting the long arm into a rip to the outside, he gets this offensive tackle to really overset this time, play the outside move, and then he just gets low leverage, forces this guy open to the inside. You can see the force shock in his hands right there to get back on this inside track, takes a perfect angle. You can tell he's a lot more comfortable with Vic Fangio as the defensive coordinator than he was with the Steelers. With the Steelers, it looked like he was just playing slower, at a much slower pace. And with his tempo with the Broncos, he was just flying around the field. Love the motor, the competitive toughness he plays with, and then a clear plan of attack, rushing the passer, setting up these moves play after play. Malik Reed right here, standing up. He also makes plays like this a decent amount near the line of scrimmage, getting those hands up, knocking these balls down. He gets a tip right there at the line of scrimmage. He recognizes the roll to his side. It's a 4th and 1 situation, and he understands he's just got to maintain his outside leverage here, not let the quarterback able to run this to the outside. And he's just maintaining, staying square, not allowing this offensive tackle to, really take him out of the play. And he's just reading the quarterback the whole time, get his hands up, get in the throwing lane. Really nice play there from Reed. Just love seeing this situational awareness, his understanding as a player. You get that type of player as a depth guy. Really like this signing for the Dolphins. This play specifically, Reed gets to show off some nice discipline and awareness out in space versus the run. He's just reading read option, understanding who the quarterback is. It's Jalen Hurts, what they like to run here. They love the RPO as well, and he maintains his outside here. I think he starts to cheat to the outside, possibly to take away a throwing lane to either the flat defender or this quick curl, and he wants to avoid this block while maintaining his outside leverage. But he doesn't want to get too wide, so he starts to squeeze this here, force this back inside to help. Really good job of just beating this block, getting upfield, resetting this line of scrimmage, and then get this tackle for loss out in space versus Hurts. Really nice play just from a processing standpoint. Just a good process of the play as well from start to finish. Reed, number 59, right here. Look at him just split this double team, understanding how to play it. He almost attacks the tight end. He makes the tight end think like this offensive lineman has control. So he gets hard to the inside like the lineman's going to take control of him, but he still squares up this tight end and then extends this left hand too. He gets low, really low leverage. This is how you take on a double team right here. And then he changes up where his hands are, his power, his stance to, get his whole body inside to this offensive lineman here, maintaining his gap. And now he's got him to the backside of him. He just plays this double team to absolute perfection. Doesn't get any better than this. And for a smaller guy, just understanding your technique, your responsibility, and you got to be able to play a run in Fangio's system because he has a lot of light boxes, so adding more run defenders to the defense is really good. He just looks like a natural on this play. Malik Reed does get a lot of these types of sacks where it's just more of hustle plays, not winning the initial battle. Like, he clearly rushes with a plan, but doesn't give up on the play, and then still gets the strip sack, which is really nice to see. I love that he always plays for the ball. Love the awareness there. Go for the hands, get those things out. But he starts off here, I like, he goes for his signature sort of long arm, win to the outside, speed to power type move, but doesn't end up working. His hands get a little thrown off, but he never gives up on the play. He's a guy that likes to clean up these rushes, which I think is a good thing when you have a bunch of good pass rushers. You have Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. These are guys who will constantly win and force quarterbacks to escape the opposite way. So having Malik Reed sort of cleaning up, getting these sacks is definitely helpful in a defense. And he just never gives up on the play. Love a guy with a high motor, high effort, competitive toughness type of player. And then the awareness to finish, swipe down, knock that ball out, and create a big turnover. Another good example of Malik Reed versus the run. Here we get to see him set the edge though, play side. So nice work. Being this force defender, takes on a double team too. He sees a double team coming and he wants to, maintain his outside leverage. And once he sees this tackle come to his side, he just squares up the tight end completely. This is what you want to do versus these double teams. And then actually this kind of works out for him because he gets the shove here and then now is in complete control of the outside leverage. Still in control of the tight end here. And then once he's in complete control, fully extended, and he sees the running back work to the inside, he just creates this space and then is still able to, work underneath the tight end, get this tackle near the line of scrimmage. This play was basically all him setting the edge, beating a double team, then, absolutely manhandling the tight end. He can do that versus tight ends for sure. Versus offensive linemen, it's not as consistent, taking on some bigger guys because he's not the biggest. But still, being able to set this edge versus tight end is very important. Got to be able to do this in Vic Fangio's defense, and this is where he was at his best, most productive seasons under Fangio, so hopefully he can do this for the Dolphins. A lot of different plays that Malik Reed has been successful against. This time we get to see him versus screen, his screen awareness, running to his side too, and he recognizes it pretty quickly. Like, he almost gets like he's going to take on the running back here first, and once he sees the running back sort of slip out, not block him, he stops on a dime, is feeling this. Now he's reading the quarterback, sees the ball is being thrown, so he gets out there, almost forces Carter back into help, and then he helps make this tackle for, like a 5-yard loss. Good screen recognition, having that awareness, instincts versus screen. He's just a pretty instinctive player overall in pretty much every area that we've seen, getting those hands up, knocking the ball down versus screens, versus the run. He understands his gap responsibility, his discipline, where he's supposed to be, versus read option as well. And as a pass rusher, he clearly rushes with a plan, sets things up over time. He's not the biggest player, the strongest player, the most athletic, but clearly he understands this system specifically that Fangio has brought him into and taught him up. And he's still only 26, so it's not like he's, washed or, lost a lot of his athleticism. He's still probably the same player in his prime when he played with Vic Fangio in 2020 and 2021. So that's actually going to be the last play that I'm going to break down. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's probably it for right now for the free agent signings. I think I've done pretty much everyone. I don't think I've done Dan Feeney. I don't know if I will. We'll see. I've watched Feeney before and it wasn't pretty. I don't know if I want to put myself through that again to get clips. But Dolphins will make more signings, and when they do, I will definitely make videos on them. And draft guys, I'm going to keep making draft videos before the draft on players that I like personally that could go anywhere, and people who I want the Dolphins to pick. I'm on the train for Sam Laporta at the moment for their pick at 51, I believe. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure that comment is there. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.